Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Headkrack After Hours. This is a young dude who's been terrorizing the internet with a bevy of dope raps, freestyles, pop-up appearances at random shows all over the country. He hails from the D, but right now you're in the A. One time for D. Horton!
What's happening?
My dude.
What's good with it?
Yo, man, it's been a long time coming. Been watching your moves for a minute.
For sure.
And I got to say, your manager / business partner is a solid dude.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
like, when I look at, what Hashem has been trying to do behind the scenes for you, I think about probably how it was when Diddy was trying to get Craig Mack and Notorious B.I.G. off the ground. Like, the campaign has been strong.
Exactly. No, that's a good comparison. I never even thought of that one. But, I mean, even more recent duos of manager-artists, I look at Eve and J. Cole, how they, built their, like, underground fan base with Warm Up and with Friday Night Lights.
Mm-hmm.
Before he ever dropped the studio album, he already had a nationwide fan base. I'm like, if we can, manipulate the system to where we don't need that and we still got sold-out shows, why not?
And the cool thing is, like, just to see it come together so organically.
Yeah,
you know
for
what
sure.
I'm saying? Like, you ain't out here just doing weird stunts and,
Right.
like, you're letting the music speak for yourself. You're letting the appearances, kind of roll the carpet out for you. So let's go back to the origin of it.
Mm-hmm.
Who is D. Horton? Where do you come from? What got you from Detroit to the A?
Word. Okay, so I was born in Detroit, so I'm technically from Detroit, but I'm really from Mississippi. So my parents, around 2 years old, split up, and then I ended up coming down south to Mississippi, back and forth with Atlanta and Mississippi, so Columbus, Mississippi specifically. So, but to jump past all that, I guess what made me D. Horton was just, like, I became infatuated with hip-hop, with, like, the Andre 3000s, Kanye West. That was more my speed because my parents were, very big in the church. So I couldn't listen to, like, 50 Cent or a lot of Tupac I couldn't even listen to. So,
It makes sense.
some of it. Now, some of it, my mom was like, this is the only thing you can listen to. But it was that was up and down. But artists like Andre 3000, like Kanye, then like J. Cole later on, and these artists all had one thing in common. That was their real name. And that stood out to me like, okay, well, this is important. This is exactly who this person is. And so that's how I developed myself. I never really was like, I'm going to be a rapper until I got to college. But then when I became one, I was like, I don't want to make it a job for myself. I don't want to have to go put on this so-and-so the rapper mask. You know what I mean? I just want to walk into if I got an interview, just say what's on my mind because that's what it is. I'm just D. Horton, That's it.
Got you. And something about, even though, like, you didn't live in Detroit most of your life, but I feel like anybody who's had more than 32 ounces of water or maybe got vaccinated in Detroit.
No, I've been back and forth my dad is still there.
Got you, but I'm just saying, even people, maybe like people as children who get vaccinated while in Detroit
Right.
have some weird-ass proficiency to rap better than most people. Like, when you look at guys like, what's my man with Slum Village, that Elzai.
Right.
When you look at the rest of Slum
I was
Village,
about to say, you
Eminem,
could just start naming Detroit. We could just
Obi
go down the
Trice,
list.
on and on.
Oh my God.
Like,
I mean, some of the best, I think people reference New York in a certain way, but you also get that same kind of reference, not the exact same as far as like birthing hip hop, but when it comes to cypher rap, when it comes to like freestyle battle rap, I think Detroit, because of Eminem and 8 Mile, but also because of the underground world, and what Trick and Tech Nine and all those guys are doing up there now, and then even Big Sean breaking it into the mainstream, and Drizzy, and it's like a very important role in hip hop that Detroit has played, I believe.
Yeah, like Detroit is like hip hop's like stash spot.
Yeah, man.
When people don't know the gun is there, like
Right.
Royce.
Because obviously everybody's gonna look at New York and be like, oh yeah, they got weapons over there, but.
Yeah.
Detroit, like if we had a national battle with like UK right now about rap, Detroit would be the spade in the hand.
Oh no! Sure. If I was to build like a battle rap Olympic team,
yeah,
a good handful of the people coming.
It's like
Detroit.
basketball, man. You go to certain areas in the nation to find certain LA, New York, Indiana, Michigan. That's how it is with rap.
That's where they at. Yeah. Now you said you started rhyming when you was in college. Now was it something you just kind of did to pass the time, or did it on a dare?
Well, I mean, like rhyming was a part of my life for as long as I can remember, like poetry and things like that. But I didn't like want to rap until college because I had an injury in football, and now I just got so much time because when you play football in college, like from 4:30 in the morning till study hall is over with, you belong to football.
Yeah.
And so then you go become a regular student because of circumstances, and it's like, okay, well, I got an extra 8 to 10 hours a day that I'm trying to figure out how to not become depressed about it, because I can't, this is the one thing that I truly, genuinely thought I loved was football. And so when it got taken away from me, I had to be able to conquer that depression. So I started writing about it. And one of the first songs I wrote was Rookie Blues, just like dealing with like somebody not being as good or turning out the way they thought they would their rookie year, and how that could change your life, alter your life. And so it just became therapy for me. And then I got good at it. So.
And it's a dope story, because I think so many people can identify.
Yeah.
You can go to any inner city, and there's so
Right.
many people who, maybe were great at this one thing, got injured, or had
Right.
some sort of setback. Maybe their parents couldn't afford to put them in, AAU or anything like that, and just, you see a
true.
lot of missed opportunities.
And you also hear about how those end up in a negative, maybe a person turns to a vice, drugs, or addiction, or any kind of other, depressive state of homelessness or something. You hear about all these things that happen to these athletes who made it way further than I did. Even if they got to a professional level and didn't pan out, and they lose it because they have all their focus, all their eggs in one basket. So I didn't want to end up living in a box because I didn't turn out the way that I expected. I just wanted to be great. So I was like, okay, well, what else can I be great at? It can be effective. I can motivate younger people because I'm from a small town in Mississippi, 25,000 people. So it's when they see me on the radio station, it's almost like seeing me on ESPN.
Yeah.
Because it's just not a plethora of examples of successful people who made it outside of like working in the factory, being an educator. Like, it's very limited, the dreams that these people continue on in their lives. I just wanted to push that, so I just found another way to do it.
No, it's not a bad situation at all.
Right.
Now, when you look at your long-term plan, you have some people who are dope as hell.
Right.
Maybe put out 3 albums too many.
Right.
Do you have it all mapped out like that? Like, 3 albums, a movie, and I'm done.
I do it. I don't do it that long term. I do look at like the next 5 years. Like, every year I'm like, okay, well, what's happening 5 years from now? And so I could say that 5 years from now, I plan to be the number one rapper in the game. I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen this year or next year, but I know the work ethic that I have, and I know the belief that I have in myself and in hip hop. I don't buy into the whole like our generation doesn't appreciate hip hop. I'll go around and hear so many artists that you can pick the Q-Tip influence, the Phife Dawg influence, the KRS-One influence, the Common, the Talib Kweli influence. So I'm like, well, maybe y'all just not paying attention to that sect of artists, even in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I'm just gonna become the number one rapper in the world. Like Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, all these people gonna have to see me, but I'm gonna be spotlighting or highlighting this certain cult of like genuine artistic ability. It's just like artsy type stuff, It's not a gimmick.
And I
but
think
it's gonna be number one.
I think anybody who has reached that type of zenith that you speak of,
Yeah.
they actually said it. They said it.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
oh, it's already happening. It's happening.
Like
right now.
some people just kind of sit in mediocrity and just be like, I'm just out here rapping because I like it. People say I'm good at it.
I'm not just name dropping, man. I genuinely feel like you can put me on a song with any of those people, and I can hold my own right now.
If we was in a car dealership, I would pull out a pen and co-sign that.
Word.
Like,
I appreciate that.
You're so lyrically ambidextrous,
Word.
if I can throw that word on top of lyrics. You know what I mean? Like,
real.
I could literally see you rapping with anybody. And there's a small pocket of people who could do it. Like, 2 Chainz could jump on a song with
God.
the most rappity rap dude. J. Cole could rap on a rappity rap song,
Right.
do something a little Uzi Vert if he choose to,
For real.
and sound crazy.
Right.
And I think that's what more people within the culture got to do. Like, there's so much segregation within hip hop. Like, this ain't hip hop enough, or this is trap, so this
Right.
person shouldn't do a song with that person. Like, more cats need to build, because the culture at large, you're gonna see such a shift.
Yeah.
There's gonna be so few black people dominating the culture in the next 15 years that we gotta click up.
And it's almost like a slap in the face to not go around and hear more people saying that, because we're young. I mean, some of the pioneers of hip hop are still alive.
Yeah.
This isn't like rock, or this isn't like a gospel or blues, where the people who started this, they aren't here to protect. Like, y'all, some people are still here to protect from the very beginning what they created hip hop out of. And it's just a shame to see the disconnect between the people who are carrying it now. Or I don't know if it's a real disconnect or if it's just portrayed by media so much that it becomes real. Because I also do meet a lot of older artists,
Mm-hmm.
whether they are like popular from the 2000s or even before then, who like, no, I listen to Lil Uzi, I listen to whatever. I'm like, I don't know, you know, I got some homies who like, no, son, you can't ever disrespect me by playing that. But I'm like, well, okay, so do you care about the culture or do you just care about, are you just biased to like what made you stand out?
Yeah.
And there's a difference. Because if you care about the culture, then you don't care what's being portrayed. You just want to make sure it's done right. You want to make sure that these kids are protected. They have knowledge of like 401k and how to protect their money and like what to do with their assets. Like 21 Savage is a great example. He got put into this category of unintelligent mumble rap, and he making better moves than a lot of these cats who got the deals in the 90s could ever think of.
Yeah, now I wish some of the guys who actually figured it out early would help some of these younger dudes. Like Chameleonaire, great example.
Oh my goodness.
This dude said, F rap, I'm going to get into this tech world, rap whenever I feel like it, and became ultra successful at it.
Right.
And instead of these guys walking around being bitter, I wish some of these guys would actually school the younger dudes so you don't end up like me, as opposed to just sitting back, wait for it. You know, same thing that happened to you, going to happen to me. They're going to throw us away. And it's messed up.
And I'm not one-sided. So I understand the disconnect comes from both ends, and so I champion any kind of solution for that. So I'm like seeking a solution. I'm not trying to be this philosopher who like theorizes where this problem comes from, or I don't know how to fix it or nothing like that. I'm just like, okay, let's have this conversation, because obviously there's something missing that obviously we feel or y'all feel that the other side doesn't know about. So let's just talk about it.
Now, we need to get all these guys in the room, because it's crazy. Cause I've had the opportunity to talk to and hang out with a little bit of everybody.
Exactly.
And to echo what you were saying about the pioneers are still alive.
Right.
Yo, like, you know, when I go to New York, I hang out with Kool Herc.
Right.
Which is
amazing.
I don't even know how it happened. You know what I mean? But like, we met at a show one night. We became friends, and we have weird adventures when I go back to the Bronx.
I mean, that's amazing.
And they didn't do him
right.
And some of it was probably had a little bit to do with the era that was going on. Because like when you look at how big of a control, like how pills kind of dominate the culture right now.
Right.
Cocaine was the pills of
Obviously.
the 70s and the 80s.
Obviously.
And cats was just out there going crazy, doing the most. And then when crack came around,
of course,
you know, cats lost their way for a little bit. Some of them, you know, pulled the plane out of nosedive. Others didn't. But just to get a Kool Herc in a room with maybe a DJ Drama, or get a Grandmaster Caz in a room with a Quavo,
or Esco,
and just to have that dialogue, and they can school each other.
Absolutely.
Because there's no reason why these guys shouldn't be able to be in a position where they can come back and get popping again.
Right.
And there's no reason why we should watch somebody file for bankruptcy in 10 years because they didn't understand the pattern.
Especially with the knowledge and information that we have and the experiences that y'all have had. Yeah,
man. So beyond the music, what does D. Horton want to do?
I'm gonna be a leader, man. I just want to figure out a way that I can do it that in a entity that's not corrupt already. You know, I'm very religious, but I'm like, I don't want to lead a church, because I've just seen how that could be manipulated. I don't want to be a politician because I've seen how that can be manipulated. So I'm just trying to find some social path. I study Huey Newton a lot. I study Tupac Shakur a lot. I study a lot of writers, Langston Hughes, Carter G. Woodson, because I look at how their philosophies and their theories have lived beyond their lifetimes. And that's really what I want to lead a generation beyond my lifetime, because I feel like once we get to this level, we've already mastered these bad habits to the point where we can only thing we can do is train the children, the next generation up on how to, you know, live without those habits. Yeah. So that's why I am with it. I just want to make this music that even if we don't understand, it never connects 100% with this culture or with this time period and this era of hip hop. I feel like I know where it's going. It's going to where like literacy or literature is going to be reflected even on a mainstream educational level. Like you're going to have to teach hip hop class. Before Nasir Ben Aludar Jones passes away, there has to be a hip hop class at Harvard. Yeah. Because he spoke on that kind of intellectual level. And I'm like, okay, well, I can do that as well. I can articulate myself.
I think your ministry and your activism would be best executed within your music, like how you've been doing.
That's it.
Because your music is going to be forever.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you can have a church that people may or may not go to. You could run for a city council position.
It's all capitalism.
Maybe you win, maybe you lose.
So
yeah.
It's like, well, at this point, I'm being honest with it. I'm telling you I'm trying to sell a ticket, or I'm trying to sell a T-shirt or a CD, because in all these other facets of leadership, they trying to sell something. They're just not telling you that. at least with me being an artist, you know what you paying your $20 if you come to a show for. You know what you paying your $10 on a CD for. So, you know, I'm just being real with it. It's capitalism. This is what it's built off of. I have to survive. So I'm like, I just want to be an artist because I can express myself and you can judge me as an artist.
Well, honesty wins every time. So